integrating and never running away from sharing the gospel in every video and in every conversation we try to have. What's up, everyone? I'm here with at the first episode of the Called and Becoming podcast. This is just an episode just to kind of, show my passion behind this podcast, show my passion, show my heart about what, I want it to look like, what I want it to be about. And I have my friend Will Tippett here. He's going to ask me some questions, just kind of interview me real quick, and then we'll be dropping some interviews and real episodes afterwards.
First off, before we get started, look at this view.
Beautiful, beautiful, isn't it?
This is awesome, man.
Just imagine having the past 3 summers here. Isn't that crazy?
It's awesome.
Yeah, beautiful.
All right, so like you said, my name is Will Tippett, and today I'll be asking our guy some questions. So, start off with, what has inspired you to start this podcast?
So, I love podcasts. I'm a podcast person. I've became, slowly transitioned out of, and sorry if you hear, cars in the background and stuff like that. We're right beside a road. We're doing the best we can. But I've slowly transitioned out of music and gotten into listening to podcasts more. And I think that, just the knowledge and the wisdom that come behind it and, that you can learn from is just bar none. You can't really honestly get it anywhere else. So I just wanted to start. I've been super blessed in my life to have different conversations with people and have different people in my life to speak into me. So I just want to kind of bring those people on, people that I'm close with or that I'm friends with, and kind of let the world hear from them and the things that they've told me. So that's kind of like where my heart comes from, where my passion comes from behind all this.
Yeah, I mean, we'll get a little bit more into that, but how did you come up with the name of this podcast?
Yeah. So, and we keep alluding to these next episodes that there'll be slowly, my story built into a lot of the episodes and stuff like that. And I know, one of the first ones that's going to be dropping is with you, interviewing you. So we do have some more stuff in there about that. But um, the name comes from this summer a lot. I think, kind of originates whenever I kind of found out I did an internship this summer. Just long story short, internship. Kind of realized that full-time called to ministry and vocational ministry. So that's where the called and becoming comes from. The called versus we're all called, we really are. But then getting different people from different levels, whatever that looks like. People working in a church as a pastor, as a minister, or just people working normal jobs, and they are using that as their platform, as we all said.
So where was your internship at?
My internship was at Calvary Baptist Church in Radford, Virginia. Yes, we're in Woodstock, Virginia now. Came up, starting July. Did my internship a little bit into May to all of June. So that's kind of what my summers look like so far. And then the becoming part also, it's like this, this big word sanctification, whatever. It's like becoming more like Christ every day. That's what we try to get out of these conversations is, okay, I can be one step closer to Christ. My relationship with him can deepen out of this. So that's where the name comes from.
So is that kind of what the core message of this podcast is going to be about?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. We just want to, obviously tell people stories, and I think that they're important and they're very impactful. You can learn a lot from them, but also, integrating and never running away from sharing the gospel in every video and in every conversation we try to have. So that's obviously the main purpose and the main thing that we want to share, that I want to share, and have people on that are professing Christians and that are on fire and share the gospel at whenever they get the chance to.
Yeah.
So that is the main message of this, and then I'll just get to hear from different people, different sides of things, different walks of life, stuff like that too.
So how are you planning on getting guests? Is that going to be through baseball, through ministry opportunities, or family, friends? Like what's that going to look like?
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna try not to have the same person on every single, like the same character person every single time. You know what I'm saying? But that's going to look a lot, at least right now with the life that we're in, a lot of athletes, a lot of, I want to get the staff at Radford on, obviously, different, people in leadership of the church, and, try to pick their brains a little bit, and, get their kind of view on things and stuff like that. So yeah, I mean, it's a lot of, the networking that I'm involved in, I think, is, athletes, kind of church ministry, different things like that. But I do feel pretty confidently that we'll be pretty diverse. We'll have a lot of different people on here, and get. I think that the listeners will be, pretty excited to hear from some of the people that we can get on.
No, I mean, I'm definitely excited to listen too. But another question I have is, have have you faced any obstacles starting this podcast? And if so, is that spiritually, physically, just getting it
Good question.
off the ground, getting it started? Like, what does that look like?
Yeah, I mean, physically, absolutely. Like, that's not one of my strong suit. Isn't technology, but I've thrown this idea around a lot in the past couple months, and then I was just like, why not? Why not
Yeah.
start it?
Yeah.
We'll work through whatever hoops we have to jump through to kind of get that started up and running and everything. So, yeah, definitely. I mean, physically, it's we have to figure out, or I have to figure out, editing, different setups, everything, just different mics, soundboards, different things like that I have no prior knowledge in. But, and then, I mean, yes, spiritually to a certain extent, it's like, it's to come on here and, be in front of a camera, be in front of a mic, and, tell, have people come on and tell their stories. That can be, pretty vulnerable place to be, and different things like that. So I think that just, I mean, being fully open and being fully transparent is, I mean, beautiful, but also hard at the same time. So I mean, yeah, definitely both on both sides for sure.
I could, I could agree with you on that. What are you most excited for with this podcast? Whether that's short term or long term, what are you most excited about?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I'm excited to see where it goes. Obviously with just different, whatever that once episodes start dropping and we get the ball rolling, just excited to see where it goes. But you know, the cliche answer, but this is the true answer. This is from the heart. Like, if this can just, and we talk about this a little bit on our episode, just a little sneak peek. Like, if it can just impact one person, if one person can take something from this, and obviously, if it could save one soul, then that's a win. If we drop, like we said, if we drop 100 episodes, and only one person gets saved, but that's still a win. So
Amen to that.
I'm
Amen to
like,
that.
even if it quote unquote flops, if it just impacts one person, then that's a win. So I mean, I'm excited to see where it can go, because I do think that it has a good chance and stuff. But
100%.
other than that, I
Got a
mean,
good leader right here.
so I'm just excited to kind of get it rolling. First of all,
Yeah.
what I'm saying, like, I'm the type of person to kind of, it's hard for me once I make my mind up about something to kind of not think about it. So it's been on my mind the past couple of days. So I'm excited to just get working and get started on it.
Yeah, so I know I'm gonna be super excited to listen to every single episode. Where should I
Yeah.
go to find the episode? Do you have Instagram, Spotify, YouTube? What is it?
Yeah, for sure. We'll be dropping some, just different clips and stuff like that on YouTube, on Instagram, just attaching, the link to go watch the episode on YouTube, and then if you want to listen to it, just listen to it on Spotify. Working on, possibly, I wouldn't count on this, but possibly on Apple Podcasts, maybe. That's kind of a little bit down the road, but definitely YouTube. Gonna try to do as much video as possible. This one's gonna have video to it. We're gonna record a couple more while we're still up here playing summer ball that hopefully will have video too. But some of them may just be audio, and definitely on YouTube and Spotify. And then go follow the Instagram, Called and Becoming Podcast on Instagram. I know, shout out to your girlfriend who made the made the cover photo for for the Instagram, and so we're definitely gonna drop on those 3 platforms for sure, and then we'll let the listeners know if we're gonna try to go somewhere else too.
Awesome. Last question. What is your favorite Bible verse?
My favorite Bible verse is Isaiah 40:31, which is, "Those who wait on the Lord will mount up on their wings like eagles and will prosper," essentially. And that has just been mine because I think that a lot of my life has, it's not the instant gratification that we're looking for. And, denying yourself, denying your flesh, and waiting and being, intentional in that waiting period. I think that that's where a lot of growth comes from in our life. And if there's a common denominator in a lot of stories and a lot of people's stories, it's that.
That's
It's
awesome.
whenever people can learn that. So that's a little bit of my favorite verse, and that's just a little bit about me.
That's awesome, man. Well, I'm excited to listen to every single episode that you have, whether that's videoed, whether that's on YouTube, Spotify, podcast, whatever it is. I'm super excited because I know you have a lot of good content coming out. So I'm excited to see where this takes us, man.
Absolutely, absolutely. Just stay tuned for the first episode dropping. So this will come out, a little introductory episode, and then we're gonna have Will Tippett as the first guest on the show, and stay tuned for that. We'll let you know on all platforms. Thank you, and have a blessed day.